And we are recording.
Okay, we're about to start, so appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. You can see that one.
I hear your order. Got that last minute. Okay, 10 o'clock. Welcome to the BOCC for April 21st. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. Have the agenda approval.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second, call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Chairman Spruill?
Yes,
Motion passes.
on consent agenda.
All right, on today's agenda, I have a new hire, Henry Swarzo for Road and Bridge. New hire Jennifer Turner in DHS. Michael Ordebez in Road and Bridge completed his probationary period, and Nick Archuleta is going to retire unless we can convince him to stay. Chain him to his blade.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and second, and I will comment on Nick that we want to thank him for 38 years of dedication to Huerfano County, and yeah, you really need to go to 40. Just
Yeah, make it even.
Yeah.
make it
Even
even.
40.
Let's keep consistent. Call for the vote.
All right, Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Chairman Spruill?
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to no appointments, permits and licenses.
Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
This first bulk water permit is concerning Bradley Rise, permit number 26-0007. The property is located at 17011 County Road 520 in Gardner, parcel number 204584. Upon inspection, there are no code violations. The lot has one residence and 3 outbuildings. He's requesting to open a bulk water account because he can't drill for a well. That house, we did our final inspection on that a couple of years ago. He's been hauling waters from Walsenburg. He actually is a resident of Gardner, and he'd like to haul from Gardner instead of Walsenburg. The staff recommends approval of this application.
Make a motion to approve the bulk water permit number 26-0007.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Chairman Spruill?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, commissioners, the second bulk water permit, 26-008 is concerning Michael and Tina Howell. The property is located at 693 County Road 572 in Gardner, parcel number 21922. Upon inspection, there are no code violations. The lot has one residence and one detached garage. They're requesting to open a bulk water account because the well has run dry. Staff is recommending, based on the findings, approval of this application.
I'll make a motion to approve bulk water permit 26-0008. Michael and Tina Howell.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Chairman Spruill?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Oh, you can do it or you want me to do it?
Up to you.
I can do it. Okay, before you, I have land use application number 25-035, the revised Camp Alderwild conditions. We had sent these out to the attorney for the applicant and never heard any comment back on the conditions. So I'm going to go ahead and read them. So a maximum of 7,500 tickets will be allowed. A maximum of 8,500 people will be allowed on site at any one time. Camp Alderwald is to provide evidence that the approved number of participants is not exceeded. Number 2, the curfew for the main stage for Friday through Sunday evening performances will be 12 a.m. No performance may take place on Thursday during early camping. After curfew, the following provisions apply. A, decibel readings at the property lines shall not exceed the limitations set forth in Huerfano County Code, Section 14-64, for a non-vehicular source located in a residential zone. B, amplified sound must conform to Huerfano County Code, Section 11-25B2. All lights controlled by the applicant shall be shielded and pointed downwards to comply with the county dark sky regulations, Article 16 of Chapter 11, Huerfano County Code. The event is limited to 4 days, the first for early entry camping and the other 3 for the festivities, not including setup and takedown for Huerfano County Section 11-25B. The event will generally operate under Stage 2 fire restrictions as defined in Huerfano County Code Section 10-21, including the exemptions contained in Huerfano County Code Section 10-23, as well as the following. The applicant may only have a non-propane fueled communal fire pit with written approval from both the county and the fire protection district, unless waived by the fire protection district. The applicant will have to have a fire truck and crew during the activity unless the fire protection district approves an alternative plan. B, designating smoking areas shall be roped off and must include a fire extinguisher. These areas must be completely clear of any vegetation. Fully enclosed cigarette containers shall also be in each designated area. 5, grass and parking areas must be mowed to 3 inches or less. 6, the applicant will enter into an agreement with the sheriff's office for routine and added law enforcement resources. Note, this is intended for off-site law enforcement, primary transport, and search and rescue if necessary. In addition, the proponent will reimburse the sheriff's office for any additional incarceration costs if out-of-county housing is required. The sheriff's office through Huerfano County Dispatch is to be notified if and when illegal drugs or weapons are confiscated and required lockbox for contraband to be handed over to the sheriff's office. 7, per CRS 39-26-1039B5 1B of the Sales Tax Act, Camp Alderwald will obtain a special sales event license and meet with each vendor at the close of the weekend to obtain a report of gross sales and collect the applicable sales tax. The applicant will provide documentation that this has been done and also provide Huerfano County with a list of every vendor and their sales tax number. If a vendor doesn't have a sales tax number, that will be indicated on the list. Any vendor who doesn't cooperate with Camp Alderwald regarding sales tax will be ineligible to attend the event the following years. Camp Alderwald may provide an alternative plan for sales tax collection to the Land Use Department. Number 8, the applicant shall comply with all public health orders. Number 9, the applicant will develop and submit to the Land Use Department a plan to ensure the security of the perimeter of the festival area and prevent trespassing on neighboring properties with a special focus on previously identified problem areas around Apache Creek, foot patrol and/or ATV in all rough terrain areas. Number 10, the applicant will facilitate a site visit by county staff and any other agencies at least 2 weeks prior to the event. This is to include assessment of the fence bordering the Cedillo property and the secondary emergency egress. Number 11, the applicant will contribute to the cost of magnesium chloride or an alternative approved by the Road and Bridge Superintendent to treat 4.5 centerline miles for dust and road integrity as a road impact fee. This distance does not include the sections currently treated by the county and road impact fee, and the cost will not include the cost of labor to apply the magnesium chloride. Alternatively, the applicant may develop a road impact mitigation plan that ensures county roads are restored to the original condition after the event. Such a plan must include provisions to mitigate dust with magnesium chloride or an alternative approved by the Road and Bridge Superintendent. Approval of such plan will be through a road use agreement approved by the Board of County Commissioners. Number 12, the applicant will provide to the Land Use and Building Department proof of commercial liability insurance in an amount of not less than $500,000. Applicant will also provide the county with a release of liability to the county in the event of a mass casualty event. Number 13, The applicant will provide to the Land Use and Building Department a surety bond in the amount of $50,000. Such bond is to be remitted subject to satisfactory completion and payment of all fees and billings prior to the event. Number 14, the applicant will pull building permits for stages and other structures erected that require said permits. Ensure they are inspected and approved by the county building inspector prior to the start of the festival. Number 15, the applicant will develop a plan for and/or provide evidence of a no-leaf trace campaign targeted at attendees to educate them on disposal and cleanup of trash and other materials, fire, danger, trespassing, as well as expectations on using porta potties. And finally, number 16, the applicant will provide the Huerfano County Land Use and Building Department with passes for use by commissioners or county staff enforcing these conditions.
We need a motion on that. Let's just read them. We don't need a motion on that.
No, you would need to accept these conditions, or amend them, or tell us to go back to the drawing board so we can, you have to approve some sort of conditions, because right now you approved the event with conditions to follow.
No, anything that came to mind. Well, it needs to be a condition to start outlining it. Something that really did go to the medical. Sometimes issues. I think they had it in another point. They're going to contract out with us.
So I did reach out several times to Spanish Speaks Medical Center, specifically Kay Whitley and her assistant, and I never received any response. Usually I do, but this year I didn't.
So,
It's in their plan. It's just not a condition.
yeah, I think because we require them to have medical on site. In the past with Sonic Bloom, there was some back and forth about if the hospital could provide contract ambulance service. I think at one point in time they did. At one point in time they said they just don't have the capacity. But I don't know that. I think the base regulations cover that pretty well, and plus their plan that they've included in there.
That's my own concern.
Yeah, the only one that I ever had the concern about was the 15 days prior to the event to make sure that the exit, validate the exit for emergency. I feel, and they said that that was a pretty rough way to go, but just to verify whether or not that's even
Yeah,
a possible.
Yeah, so that I'm trying to find it where I put that in. That access road is, it's essentially a 2-track.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily intended for primary use there, but it does need to be at least decent enough so that if it has to be used in an emergency, it can be used.
As I was thinking of like a washout or something. Make sure it's not.
and that road doesn't, I'm sorry, Paul. But that road, it's wide enough to get a brush truck in. It's really not that bad. There's one little area that's a little kind of funky down, it goes down like by Agoria and up, but it is a 2-track that is good enough for a brush truck.
Yeah, I think with a washout, the possibility of that happening is valid concern, but it's also not something that we can predict.
Yeah.
I mean, we can ask them, that's something that we would handle on the fly with them.
Well, I know on the paperwork, it says that to verify like 2 weeks prior.
Mhm.
And I was just concerned that that wouldn't give enough time to be able to rectify anything that might be a problem. But that's
Oh,
depends on, if that makes sense.
I
So
think that
if
would be
there was a
enough
washout
time.
And they have 2 weeks, that's like, oh my gosh,
If they have a washout, they have a different set of issues.
that's true.
Um,
That's why time was a concern with just 2 weeks
yeah, it's,
prior to the event.
and we can certainly change that if you guys want to. In my head, the purpose of the 2 weeks out is to make sure that the overall road quality is there. Like if they have an event happen, a washout, something like that, where the road is impacted by something out of the ordinary, I think, we have to evaluate then, especially if it happens before the event, what can they do to mitigate that and how much of a problem is it, right?
Yeah, because the emergency you can get just about anything if you have to.
Yeah, but if the overall quality of the road isn't where it is, you want to be able to give them that flag, enough time for them to be able to fix it.
Right.
And we can also add in like a secondary inspection or something like that, closer to the event, to make sure, I mean, if we find the road isn't in good enough condition, 2 weeks out, we can come back. We would come back and say, all right, you guys fix this and this and this, and we'll come back before the event once you tell us you've done the work to make sure that we're good to go here.
And we'll be back there anyway, because they'll take a semi truck and make it into a stage, and it has to be inspected, and you'll only do that out of the event.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah, before an event like this,
We live there.
I wouldn't go that far, but
okay.
with Sonic Boom, we definitely did, but
Yeah.
for this, I'm not necessarily planning on it for this first year. We'll see how
I
it
don't think
goes.
it'll be anywhere near that sensitive.
And with the event coming up currently, that can be tested out in the same area.
Good point. All right. Other than that, that's all I have.
I'll make a motion to accept all 16 conditions for land use permit 20-0.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Whittle,
Yes.
Chairman Spillier,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, on to action items.
All right, Commissioners, first review ordinance number 26-01, ordinance amending chapter 20 of the Huerfano County Code to revise and update the rules and regulations for the operations of the Gardner Public Improvement District. So this ordinance does a few things. It is a rewrite of several sections in depth of the Gardner regs. The two sections that have the biggest changes are the bulk water section and the construction sections. So it's adding a whole lot more detail to construction, to how things are constructed when we construct extensions, standards that have to meet to keep people accountable if someone wants to expand in Gardner, including the county, to make sure that that burden doesn't fall onto the existing users of the system. As we've said before, and just say it again for the public, the development has to pay its own way. It's not the people's job to currently own the system to cover development cost. That said, this also makes some changes to how the system operates, smaller changes. So it includes allowing sub-metering for utilities. So if you have, say, an apartment building, you don't have to have one system provided unit for each one system provided meter for each unit. You can do sub-metering that helps out with making things more affordable, gives landlords options as far as how they want to bill utilities, if they don't include it in rent or not. Make those kind of changes. It also includes availability fees. So if someone could have service but does not have service, they could be charged an availability fee. For instance, there are folks that say disconnected from sewer for a time because they are requested to stop their sewer bill because their property is being worked on. So to prevent a debt fee from being transitioned, the debt cost being transitioned to everyone else that's on the district while they're shut off, they would still be on the hook for any debt fees that happen or for the planned investment fee. They would still get a regular bill, things like that. Same thing with water. Gardner has some uniqueness where there are people that have water accounts but not sewer accounts because, let's say, the sewer is higher than where they would need to be in order to connect into their house. Those folks wouldn't be affected. That wouldn't change. There are also people that have sewer accounts but no water account because they're on a well. Those folks also wouldn't change. It's really for people that disconnect from the system for a temporary time period, and also to prevent things for like precincts sitting vacant forever and no one checking on it either. So.
One question I was going to ask on that section 2054, the hydrant wrench or valve shutoff keys. Is it a very specific wrench they use to be able to use the, because I know personally, we have our own wrench for another valve, like on our side. And I'd hate to have somebody think that it's their wrench when it's, you know what I mean? Is there a different, I don't know what they use to turn on.
Yeah, these are specialized keys. I mean, you can go and buy them off the internet, don't get me wrong, but it's also more about the use of them too.
Yeah.
And this is a local provision of what is currently state law. So it's currently state law, and there's a penalty in Title 16 somewhere about possession of one of those keys, and particularly the use of one of them. So basically, you can't go turn off and on your meter. You can't go and open up a hydrant if you're not with the fire department. You can't turn off and on a meter if you're not a plumber or some licensed, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just didn't want somebody to take somebody's personal key on their own side.
Right.
Okay,
Ryan Dice has his hand up.
Brian?
He's gonna send it on the future.
Thank you.
There it is.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello, good morning. I think I heard you just say that right at the end, but you said you were imposing, I'm kind of against that, imposing the penalties for turning on and off the meter, but did you say by licensed professionals or just the fire department?
So those folks are authorized to, so fire department is authorized to open up a hydrant. So if some random person comes up with a hydrant, that's an issue. If someone that's not licensed to work on a system turns off and on a meter without requesting turn off and on, that's a problem. So like if, for instance, when Ryan goes and works on places, he can shut off a meter because he is a licensed plumber.
Okay, thank you. That was the clarification that I needed. Again, our insurance covers all of that stuff, so we just want to make sure we're not getting fined for maintenance.
Exactly.
Nope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. All for me.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-01, the update to the GPID regulations.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
So, do you have questions, Mary?
Yeah, I'd like to speak to it before you approve.
Yeah, this is just the first reading, so it'll come back again. But if you want to come up and ask some questions,
We'd like my
Can you
questions
come-
up here so they can be considered.
Can you come to the,
you come up to the mic.
yeah, we need to be able to have people online here as well.
Pardon me?
We need people to be able to hear online as well. So if
Oh,
you speak
sure.
in the
No,
mic,
I would like people to hear what I have to say.
you state your name.
I apologize. I'm turning 80 in May and my hearing is going. I haven't got a clue what you just said.
Oh.
Okay, I keep bringing it up, for years about the acoustics here. But I have some basic concerns. I know that everybody in Gardner.
Can you state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Mary Jensen. I live in Gardner.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I know that everybody in Gardner is talking about the lack of water, and I know that you guys approved a contract with a rainmaker, to seed the clouds, and I'm really happy about that. I hope it works. That technology's been around a long time. I am concerned that, nobody in Gardner really knows about this thing that you're going to approve. I only found out because Gail Meisinger sent out a notice, that you were going to talk about it today. And I called a few people, nobody heard about it. And this affects almost everybody there, I think. I have, regarding the revisions, I'm going to do this very quickly. I have one copy for you. The short notice, apparently this was only posted on the county website on Friday. And so, that doesn't give people time to find out about it or even to respond to it and read it. I'm concerned about when these changes will take effect and whether other people will have an opportunity to make and receive comments from you back. In other words, to have input into your decision-making. I have some specific questions. The most important one for me is whether you're going to have grandfather rules. I have livestock. I approached the county before I bought my one horse. I am surrounded by people who have been there at least 5 generations and have lots more than one horse and multiple cattle there. And I'm concerned, about the provision that we have to get a permit now to do that. And so the grandfathering rules on that are very important to me, and on other things as well. I'm concerned about whether any of these proposed changes modify the existing zoning. And when we did the zoning, you helped people understand the changes that were being made by highlighting the changes and sending out a document so people could respond. And I would really ask you to do that again. We don't know the timeline for adoption. We don't know the ways in which we are giving up local control by bringing in other people like the Innovative Housing Opportunities Plan. I don't have a clue what that is. I don't think anybody else does either. But once we partner with them or accept their proposals, then I think we are bound to their rules. I have a hydrant key. The people that work on the water and sewer have frequently borrowed it from me, not for my property, but for other people's property too, because they don't have it in their truck. And I'm wondering what I should do with that. Should I give it to them? It delays any work on my meter should there be a problem. And I have twice run out of water this year. It was not a system-wide thing. It was just my house. And so, they've had to come out and they've dug up the meter and, restarted it. And, then I've had water again. And so I agree with, trying to preserve and conserve water. I think everybody is trying their best to do that. And I agree with the idea that we should pay our own way. But I have a lot of concerns about whether this project is going to require existing residents to pay forward for new projects like a low-cost housing plan, because I don't think that should be the responsibility of residents in Gardner.
So this is just the first reading?
I wanted to get these on the table.
Perfect.
That's
So there's
good.
time for people to read and comment before the second reading.
And when will that be?
Unknown.
Yeah,
So the earliest it could be is the middle of May. This has to be published in the paper in full, which won't happen until April 30th at the earliest. But I think we also do want to talk to folks in Gardner about it. The first opportunity for that is going to be tomorrow at the RACCAB meeting, but there's a lot of changes. And unfortunately, because it's a lot of changes and because of how the engineers rewrote this, a red line version isn't going to be super helpful. I can see what I can figure out because things have moved around a lot.
So your proposal to accept this proposal was only to accept it as a proposal. It wasn't to make it part of the regulations. Is that correct?
So you know about the housing thing? About the housing plan?
Oh, no, about the water and sewer.
So the regulations that are proposed here, they're proposed regulations. They won't go into effect until they're passed on second reading and then published for a second time.
Okay, so we have another chance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got at least 2 weeks, probably most likely more than that.
Yeah, this is just getting it started.
Yep.
So you'll have plenty of time.
Okay, well, I appreciate the opportunity then to, make these comments, and I hope you'll consider them before the second meeting. And in the meanwhile, I hope other people will learn about this.
Absolutely.
I'll have one copy. I was up late last night doing this.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Any other comments? Also the vote.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Chambers,
Yes.
Chairman Spiller.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right. The now for ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance for the regulation of traffic by the county of Huerfano, Colorado, adopting by reference the 2024 edition of the Model Traffic Code, repealing all ordinance in conflict therewith, and providing penalties for violation thereof. So,
Thank you, Jerry.
so local governments in Colorado, adopt the model traffic code in order to enforce traffic penalties, speeding tickets, et cetera, et cetera. Huerfano County is currently on ordinance number 1, which was adopted, I think, in 1980, if I remember correctly, which adopted the 1977 model traffic code for municipalities. This is going to fast forward us 30, 40 years pretty easily, and it will allow the sheriff's office to write tickets that, or the revenue remains with the county instead of going to the state.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance for the regulation of traffic by the county of Huerfano, Colorado, adopting by reference the 2024 edition of the model traffic code, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith and providing penalties for violation thereof.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion or question? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall,
Yes.
Chairman Spooner.
Yes.
Motion passes. So next I have for you a rock, sand, and gravel quarry lease between the county and William Campbell. This is for the Levita pit. I meant to ask this about this earlier. Yes, if I remember correctly, the Levita pit, when MSHA came to inspect a few years ago, they checked the paperwork and found that the lease had expired on that pit and also needed to be amended because there were some boundary line adjustments needed. So this is the last step in the compliance for that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the quarry lease for William Kimball, rock, sand, and gravel.
First and second, any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Woodall,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Chairman Spooner.
Yes.
Motion passes. And then last but not least, I have the vending machine lease agreement between the county and Lone Spruce LLC. This is for a vending machine to be put into the Judicial Center on a trial basis. So the term runs from April 22nd and continues for a period of 3 years. I don't think that the actual vending machine will be in it tomorrow. I think they're still a couple weeks out. But the lease fee is $25 for the entire 3-year term. And we basically discussed that we want to be able to cover the cost of the electricity that this would use, but we're also not certain that this would be able to make a profit, it would be a profitable margin thing or not. So it's very much a trial exercise.
Make a motion to approve the vending machine lease agreement between Wolfton County government and Lone Spruce LLC.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall,
Yes.
Chairman Spooner.
Yes.
Motion passes. And that is the end of correspondence. End of action items. Yeah. Too far ahead.
Okay, then on to correspondence.
Thank you. All right, Commissioners, you have your sheriff's revenues for February and March 2026. And that's all for correspondence.
Okay. And now to public comment. Each person will have up to 3 minutes for to present their public comment. Please address the board and the chair. This is an opportunity for the people to express their views. And the board generally does not engage in a back and forth, but state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. Mary? Oh, she already did it. Okay. Anyone online? Online?
Ready? Here we go.
It's Christian.
Kristen?
Hello. Yes, my name is Christian Bauer, and the comments I would raise about is again the land use changes for proposed specifically in section 1.03.02 raises the agricultural minimum lot size from 35 to 200 acres. 200 acres is larger than the 1862 Homestead Act parcel this region was settled under, as well as the section 1.05. The use table goes further on agricultural land. Now it prohibits 3 to 6 dwelling units, prohibits over 6 dwelling and employee housing, prohibits schools over 50 students, prohibits churches, prohibits manufactured home parks, as well as wholesale distribution of agricultural goods, prohibits vehicle repair, and prohibits self-storage. I would like to raise concerns about these changes to the proposed land use. It is now looking to strip any agricultural uses actually on any land less than 200 acres, and any land that is 40 acres or above at the moment will pretty much become unusable because we can't even self-store, let alone fix our own vehicles. This is not a neutral housing amendment. It's a substitution of land use. So that's the public comment I would like to enter. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
As we stated before, if you could send the email, we can address some of your points specifically. Because I think some of that is not exactly what's happening. So,
Well, I think, it'd be nice to get this confirmation we haven't missed anything for sure.
yeah,
But I think from most of the way you read off, I think we've addressed that in the edits we've made so far. But of course, those aren't public yet because we're still making edits. But yeah,
We're going off of an old version there, and we've made adjustments to all the things.
yeah, this is the rough part about sort of how this works, is that you get, and I've for instance on the procurement side stopped posting things on the website on the blog side of the website because people come back years later and think that it's accurate.
Yeah.
It's still active. People find older things on the website, which is a good thing, which we want people to find older things and see how things changed over time. But in this case, it also has been a long time since that was posted on the website. But I'm really, really hoping to get this out in the next couple of weeks for people to comment on the changes that we've made so far.
yep, operate on present day documentation.
And the land use code is always confusing.
Yeah,
We've been going over it.
yeah. Anyone else online? That it?
No further comments. That's the one.
All right, on to staff reports.
No, I didn't prepare a staff report for this particular meeting, but we are working on the housing regulations, including adjustments to the building code that we discussed at our last workshop. We were aiming to have a workshop with the HCBA and the Board of Review next week. Tomorrow. Yeah. And staff and I discussed it this morning, and we're going to push that off because we're not quite ready yet. Those changes are a lot simpler than the changes for the housing regulations, but there are some interplays there too. So yeah.
Very good. All right, nothing from the county attorney. No need for executive session. We do have upcoming at 1 o'clock revitalization authority meeting and at 11 human services meeting. Entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
First and second, call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall,
Yes.
Chairman Sporter.
Yes.
Motion
We are
passes.
adjourned at 10:39. Thank you very much.